Hey, Aidan, I think we know the production. We know you're probably going to test pretty well for that. Maybe one knock as teams look at your profile is question maybe about the length, right? So I'm wondering as you kind of develop the skill set, what countermeasures have you come up with in your pass rush plan to maybe adjust and adapt to when you're facing an offensive lineman that maybe presents some trouble with their length?
Yeah, there may be questions along that. I guess we'll see, but I'm not too worried about it. You know, I'm very confident in my ability, despite how long I am or whatever you say. So, it doesn't really matter to me.
But in terms of like your pass rush plan, what skill sets have you, countermeasures have you developed in your game to work against that?
I mean, nothing is. I didn't plan anything around it. You know, I plan around. My abilities and what I do well, and it's nothing to counteract anything.
Aidan, what do you consider your greatest attributes that you're going to give the next level?
I think my greatest attributes are my instincts. I'm a very intuitive player, and that comes with watching a lot of film. And I think it's kind of just it was in me inherently, and being able to kind of have that on the field, it allows me to make a lot of plays.
Would you have any meetings with all these good rush, be the man, something like that, do it or something like that?
They should take me, and because I'm a very good football player, and I'm a guy who's very confident in my ability.
And what would you say for you has been your progression from when you first got to Michigan to now? Where do you think you've grown the most? Where do you think you saw the most growth?
I think I've gotten just a lot more mature, and in my game, I mean, I'm a completely different player from what I was freshman year. You can't really compare 2018 Aidan to this Aidan now, because I'm completely different. I'm way more confident in my game, and I'm ready to go.
Really demolish your guy, get back to the ball. So, I feel like I'm translating to the NFL.
I do think aspects of it are similar. You know, I watched a lot of film on Joey, and he's a very talented player, and he's a good person to learn from.
Can you talk about how Mike Macdonald influenced that development this past year?
Yeah, Coach. I guess it's Mike now, since I'm out of college. But Mike, he really influenced me by giving me a lot of freedom in the defense and really just let me loose. And I feel like that's when I'm best, is when the coordinator trusts me and I trust him, and we're both on the same page.
What would I really rely on taking?
Can we talk about David Ojabo and what it's like playing on the side with another first-round pick?
Yeah, Ojabo he's a monster, man, and he's got so much potential. So I cannot wait to see him at this level. He's got a lot in front of him, and a lot of good years of football.
You mentioned that freedom when in your preparation for NFL teams. Do you see systems, schemes where you can have that freedom in the league?
I'm not quite sure. I haven't gone into those schematics into the teams. You just meet with them and go over your own film. So,
what is it about that freedom that brings out the best in what you do?
Just having that peace of mind, knowing that he trusts me, and I trust him in doing my job.
Do you plan on doing everything as far as testing wise?
Yeah, I'll probably do everything besides the bench.
Aidan, who's your favorite edge rusher in the NFL currently?
I'd probably say TJ. I just think the way he rushes, how relentless he is, it's very fun to watch, and I think that's why he's so damn productive. I don't know. I don't really look at the mock drafts, but you see him in the middle of the season, and just because people are sending you stuff. So I saw a couple of those, but I guess I'd say in the middle of the season. What would it mean to me? It would mean a lot. A lot of hard work has gone into this. It's been a very long journey, but I'm ready to start a new chapter.
You mentioned the journey. What has your football journey been like? I just grew up with your dad in football, and to this moment, what has that been like for you?
Yeah, it's been a journey at Michigan with with a lot of adversity. And finally, my senior year, we came out on top and won a championship. So I think it was a great story with me, and I'm glad and I'm happy about all the adversity that I went through, because I think it's made me the man who I am today.
Obviously, your dad went to high school in Houston. Did you ever spend much time in Houston?
Yeah, my dad's family's still there, so we go out there probably about once a year to see my family in Houston. But yeah.
How fit do you think you could be in Jacksonville?
I'm not quite sure. I know any team that drafts me is going to get me and everything that I got. So I don't really know schematically what they're doing, but I know whatever team that picks me is getting everything.
Hey, it was recently announced that you're working on your podcast.
Yeah, so I'm working on a podcast with PFF called the Hutch Podcast, and we're bringing a lot of people on it to talk and to kind of talk about my journey and my experiences at Michigan and kind of my journey and my path to the draft. So I think it's I'm gonna start doing a lot of interviews for it after this, and so we can finish this up.
Where did you learn kind of how to train for that?
For a podcast, it's a lot of interviews, a lot of interviews. But podcasts, you can be a little more, real.
Aidan, what is a film session like with you?
You said what?
What is a film session like with you?
I mean, typically in season, I was watching probably like 1 to 2 games a night on the opponent, but I really just look at a lot of the tendencies and I just try to feel it out. I try to put myself in the game and act like I'm going against that tackle, and I just try to visualize it in my head and kind of feel the kind of the moments of the game.
Do you have a favorite or a preferred particular technique? Do you view yourself as a 5 or 6 or a wide 9 or anyone in particular?
Definitely a wide 9, just smashing tight ends and smashing tackles.
How did your dad help you through this process? He was a Michigan man himself, and he went to the NFL, went to Cleveland. How does he kind of help you along through this together?
Yeah, he's helped me. I think his journey was ending pretty soon in comparison. I think mine's just starting up. So, he's definitely been a help. He's always there to support me, but, I think his journey ended year 1. I'm hoping I can get 15 of them.
You talk about
just going through that,
what are some of the things that
tough period of time where you really callous the body, man. You really just get that toughness.
Coach Mack, Mike, he's a young coach, and he's someone I can talk to very easily, and we saw eye to eye a lot in the same things, and that was from the jump too. So it made it really easy to connect with him, and we were on the same page since day 1. So.
One thing you started doing a lot more this year is rushing from a 2-point stance. Can you talk about the difference between doing that and rushing from a 3-point stance?
Yeah, when you got your hand in the dirt, you lose a lot of vision out there on the field. So, being able to rush from a 2-point, I have very good instincts, so I'm able to use those and, combine that with the vision, and I think I make a very good football player, and I'm very effective on that field when I'm standing up, and I can use my vision and my instincts.
You talk about.
How have you dealt with the expectation and the talk of being a potential?
Yeah, there's always expectation. There's always all of that, but the way I block it out is just knowing, knowing my job and knowing that I do this. I've been playing football for a long time, and I'm very confident in my ability. So. Whenever that pressure, that expectation rises, I know who I am. I know what kind of player I am. So it kind of calms the nerves a little bit.
When so much of the talk this week is about you against Kayvon Thibodeau and who's going to be picked higher and whose game is better, whose motor is higher. What is that like from your perspective, where you're being compared in that light? It seems like the talk all week is between the two of you.
Yeah, I don't really. I think he'll agree with me. I don't think there's any comparison. I think we're both just trying to be the best players we can be, and whichever team picks us, we control the controllables and we move on.
Did you know him before this week at all?
Yeah, I met him a couple weeks ago.
From your time at Michigan, that was a program that wanted to get to where you were this past year. Obviously, maybe the team that picks you is in a similar, trying to get back to where they were. What from your time in college are you kind of prepared for the experiences you had?
Obviously, this Michigan team we had this year, we rose from the ashes, and we were. No one thought we were going to be anything, and we did something that many thought were impossible. So I'm hoping wherever I go, we can do the same.
Have you had to explain how the performance went for you in the playoff game against Georgia?
What'd you say?
Have you had to explain the performance against Georgia in the playoff game?
You're asking me,
Yeah.
did I?
Yeah, when the teams are talking
Everywhere I go, it's always that question.
No one asked about it, no.
I'm always going to hear about
how do you feel you have performed in that game?
looking forward to the game.
I thought I played well. I thought I did my job on a lot of the plays, but you can always do better. I mean, as players, we always strive to do better, and you always strive to make more plays.
Aidan, would there be any added significance to staying home if you aren't the number one pick to go to Detroit?
Yeah, it would definitely be cool. I'd be living close to home. It would definitely make the transition a bit easier to the NFL, just being so close to home and being close to my parents. Oh boy, I don't know about that, but I do plan on being there, and just being there with my family and being there with the people that have been supporting me since day one. I can't speak to other people. I haven't watched anybody else really on film, but I'm very confident in my ability, and I know whatever team that picks me, they're gonna get a very good football player.
Aiden, just take us through the rehab process with the ankle coming into the year. You were only able to play 3 games the season that goes. So, how did you stay so strong, and did you see a year like this coming that you had last year?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, the year that I had this year was something that I was thinking about for a very long time, and I always knew I had the ability to do it, but I think thanks to Coach Mack and the defense that he brought in and me just getting better as a football player, it was a combination of those things. And then, me rehabbing was very hard, but I have a very good support system in my family. I was at home for about 2 months, so, I was getting, mom's cooking, so it wasn't too bad. But, it was hard for sure, but I think with the people around me, they made it a lot easier.
So this podcast is about yourself, right?
This podcast is about myself and my journeys kind of through Michigan and now leading up to the draft.
What is the story you want to tell?
You're going to have to watch to find out.
Aidan, you were voted a 2-time team captain at Michigan. What does that say about your leadership?
Yeah, that just goes to show that, I think a lot of those guys trusted me and they respected me to be in a position of leadership on our football team. So it really does mean a lot, especially my dad being captain there and me being able to continue that legacy. It really does mean a lot.
With you and David off to the NFL, who do you see at Michigan as those guys that can step in and fill the roles that you guys had?
On defense, offense, they're getting almost everybody back, but defensively, I know we're losing 6 dudes out of 11 starters. So, it's definitely going to be hard for them. But it's Michigan. We get a lot of talent, and we're going to be able to reload, and I know those boys will be fine. First NFL check, I'd probably have to be a Ford Bronco, get a little car, affordable, but good looking. So that's definitely what I got in my mind, and then we're gonna figure the rest of it out.
Not including teammates, who's the best offensive tackle you went against in
I think the 53 from Penn State, he was good. Ohio State guys were good. Those are kind of the two that come to mind.
What do you feel like your best game in your memory was, and what it says about you as a player?
I guess it's got to be the Ohio State game. I guess I know it's the very typical answer, but that game was very legendary for me, just breaking the Michigan record and breaking my dad's record for sacks. So, that and we also beat, the rival that I've been thinking about for 2 years at that point. So. I believe so. I really believe in my ability, and I'm very confident, and I'm ready to go. I'm ready to move on from the combine after tomorrow and get that running over with, and then we're rolling into the season. I think I just need to continue to do what I'm doing. I make a lot of sacrifices off the field in order to be in the position that I am in today. So I'm going to continue to do those things and continue to to take care of my body and do all that stuff off the field.
I love to play with these guys. Just like I said early on.
You see how far has he come? I mean, every game you watch David play, from week 1 to the last game, every week he progresses so much, and it's honestly so impressive, just watching, we'll be in meetings, and he'll ask a question about football, and I'll look at him like, how do you not know that? Which is, it's pretty funny, I laugh about it, but, that just goes to show me how much potential that he has, that he's producing at that level, what he produced, and he's still learning so much about the game.
Obviously pass rush has always been important in the NFL, but like recently, even like watching the Super Bowl, seeing the impact it can have on a game. What do you see as you enter the NFL about what teams are prioritizing, what kind of things you can provide in this game today?
Yeah, I think that's why pass rushers get paid the most, or one of the most, just because they have the ability to affect the game like that, like Von and Aaron. They really took over that game, and it was. That's why they get paid.
Surprise people with their testing numbers at the combine?
I don't really know what people think of me. I don't really read anything. I don't know any notion anybody has of me, but I'm just gonna go out there and hit all my PRs. That's all I care about. Oh yeah, being on that field. Yeah, I was walking it with David, and we were kind of reminiscing a little bit, being on that field and with the confetti and all that. That's something that I'll never forget.
There's a relatively famous story of Brett Favre not knowing what a nickel back was as a rookie in the NFL. Maybe think about that very much. Do you have a specific example of something David asked you in a meeting?
I don't remember anything specifically. It was just little tidbits of stuff that he was figuring out. That it's funny, but it just goes to show how much he has the ability to improve in the mental game.
So these Houston visits, was that with family like Thanksgiving? What time? Like you were just going back?
My uncle and my aunt's there. My cousins are there. So, my cousin's just had another baby. So, she's getting a good number of them. So it's always good seeing them, and I'm getting new family in there almost every year. So it's good.
Are they kind of pulling that you might end up there?
I'm sure they are. It will be cool. Yeah.
Hey, did you talk to Quiddy at all while you were here?
Yeah, the sizes
about what to expect.
Yeah. He's working out in Cali, which is pretty close to where I was. So we got some food the other day, and we were just talking, and we do get along so well. And he is one of my good friends and someone I could definitely trust at the next level. We talk, I feel like, almost every day now, to be honest with you. Yeah, he knows, and he didn't really have a hard time with it, and me and him are very similar in that aspect of how we look at the game mentally. So I'm sure it will be smooth for me as well.
2 more questions for Aidan.
What kind of perspective did last season give you, and why would what you accomplished last season make you a better pro?
Thanks, Chad. That's a great question. Last year gave me a lot of perspective. I kind of, on my whole career at Michigan, I never won anything significant at all. And in my senior year, I really wanted to go out with a bang and just do something in my football career for once from a team perspective. So I was able to do that, and I gained insight on what it's like to win a championship and what kind of team you have to be and the kind of guys and how you have to act and how you build the culture. So I definitely got some insight on that, and I kind of learned definitely through experience and on the way, how to build and how to be a part of a championship football team.
Getting a taste of that level of success, does that add to the hunger?
100%. I want that every year. I want to win as many Super Bowls as I can. So that's the goal. And I want to win now. I want to win everything. But I know it's not going to happen. But we're going to try to win them all.
Cleveland stuff.
Okay.